Hi YouTube, it's Kathy and I'm here to tell you about my TBR for Get Graphic, which is a readathon happening from August 23rd to 25th, all about reading graphic novels. There are 7 official reading challenges, so I'm going to tell you what those are, and then I'm going to tell you some of the things I'm going to read over that weekend. The first challenge is to read a work in translation, the second challenge is to read a prize-winning work, the third is to read an adapted work, and there's a bonus if you also watch the adaptation. The fourth challenge is to read an own voices work, the fifth is to read a work with LGBTQIA2+ rep, the sixth is to read 2 installments of the same series, and the 7th is to read 7 different graphic novels. I have partially picked out my TBR, which is I've picked things that fit all of the challenges except for reading 7, and then I'm going to pick up some basically the day of to fulfill the 7 challenge. If you know me, you know that I will be picking up my TBR from the library, so I'm going to take a look at my holds list and tell you what I've put on hold for this readathon. For the adaptation challenge, I am slightly cheating on this one because I'm going to be reading The Drawing of the Three, which is the second in the Stephen King book series The Dark Tower. That is a book series that was also made into these graphic novels. I've read some of the graphic novels, but not this specific one, but I will not be watching the movie adaptation because I did that once and you would have to pay me a lot of money to do it ever again. If you want to know why I have to pretend that that doesn't exist, otherwise I get really angry, I will link a video I made about it. I also have the first 2 volumes of Our Dreams at Dusk on hold at the library. These are 2 books in the same series, so it crosses off that challenge. They're also works in translation because they're originally from Japan. The main character is queer, so it checks that off, as well as own voices rep because the writer is also queer. From my understanding, this series is about a high school student in Japan who has some damning evidence of his queerness on his phone that gets found out, and he briefly considers suicide. Something I meant to read for the reading rush, but somebody else took it out of the library, is the Redwall graphic novels, so I will be picking that up. And for an award-winning graphic novel, I picked Monstrous Volume 1 because it's been on my list of things to read for forever. And if I'm not mistaken, the award it won was a Hugo. I would have to double check, but I definitely made sure that it was an award winner before I decided to put it on this list. There are also a couple of graphic novels I want to read that my library says will be available soon, but I don't think they'll come in before this readathon. One of them is Man-Eaters Volume 2, which I'm very much looking forward to, and the other one is Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell. Like I said, I don't think that these are going to actually be processed into the library by the time that I need them for this readathon, which means that I do plan on just picking up some graphic novels basically the day this starts, maybe the day before, that would be smarter, just to make sure that I can read 7 because we all know that I like to complete all of the challenges always. Have you read any of these, or do you have any recommendations for me? Let me know about it down in the comments below. On the way down to the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you very soon. Bye!